Hello everyone, today we are going to interview Superlab, one of the best duo showdown players, with the world record of most trophies for STU, with 2015 trophies as record, which is actually really insane. We are going to get some tips and tricks, advice, and his opinion on teaming and how he handles it. I asked Superlab if getting your super with Stu is the hashtag one priority, or what is the best to do at the start of a solo showdown game. He told me that every solo showdown game is very different. You do different things when you face different brawlers. He generally wants to go for boxes. You can waste gadgets on boxes or shaping the map to your advantage, so you can create escape points and choke points. Like for example on Stormy Plays and Rockwell Brawl. You can shape easily some escape points and choke points on this map, especially at the center. It's important for Stu to be able to get away fast and to get into the action really fast if you want to get consistent kills and if you want to win, because Stu is a very aggressive assassin brawler, so he needs to be able to be aggressive to get some kills. He can also be played very passive, but mainly is very strong at making quick kills and getting quick away from a dangerous situation. Superlab told me that his favorite solo showdown maps are Dark Fantasies, Dark Passage, and Mythic Touch. For Duo Showdown, it is Rockwell Brawl, School Creek, and Safety Center. All these maps are, of course, very good to play Stu on. I asked Superlab if Stu was an easy brawler to play, and he told me that Stu is certainly a very low skill cap brawler, because people can easily pick him up and become very good with him, because first of all he is very overpowered to begin with and his gadget is extremely strong. But it is important to never waste your super. It is also important to never play too aggressive or passive. You have to take the opportunity when you see the opportunity. You have to take the chance to kill someone when there is a chance. You do not want to force a situation or Stu will get outplayed or teamed on. It's very important to be fast when the opportunity is there, but also important that you do not waste your super in these moments when you panic. It's also something that can be easily done. You need to use the super chain strategy. You have to shoot instantly and spam your super at the same time, so your super will target the closest nearby target. It's very easily to chain super with Stu, because Stu only needs to hit the enemy once to be able to charge his super. And Castle heals him for 400 HP every time he uses his super, which is already insane strong. And if he can use his super 3 times with each full attack, then he can heal 1200 HP with just attacking an opponent 3 times if he chains supers them with this particular strategy. I asked Superlab if he was an aggressive or a passive player, because as everyone knows, I am a very aggressive solo showdown player, and he told me that he is both, honestly, dependent on the experience he has. When something happens, when a situation appears, he can recall that same situation that happened to him 100 times before. He just have to be confident and play accordingly to the situation. You have to know that you will not win each game, even if you play it perfectly. Everyone is human and everyone makes some mistakes in Showdown. I asked Superlab also what he thinks about theming, and he told me that Solo Showdown was one of the first game modes in the game, and like most online survival games, teaming was inevitable. In most Solo Showdown survival games, like Agario or Mapio, there is teaming involved. It's deemed as a skill set. In Agario, for example, you can be a pro player if you can team properly. It is an instinct for new or casual players to team in order to survive. But nonetheless, there will be people who are against team, just like everything else in the world. At the end, it is a rank in a mobile game you can get. Solo is only complex because of the teaming. There are skills such as when to team, or who to team with, when to backstab, when to kill, when to spare, when to target first, etc. etc. At Showdown, with no teaming, will be super RNG dependent. Like any solo Showdown tournament that ban teaming, it will just end up being the player with the best spawn or most power cubes that is going to win. So is solo Showdown teaming bad, or is it just more strategy based? Well, it can be done in very different ways. There is teaming right in the start when you start the game and team with the whole lobby and just spin into the end, or there is teaming to win from a certain situation, to escape and to get a certain kill. It's so different when you are in a bad situation and you lose trophies or you team. Of course you team. Of course you team to get out of the situation. It's more important to get trophies than to not team. It's important that you take any opportunity you get to get into the better situation. And if in that moment you need to team to get in that better situation, then you must team. Solo Showdown is a free for all, so you must do whatever it takes to win the game. Like he did in this game. He teamed, but he also didn't, and he took the big win. I asked Superlab what he thinks about Solo Showdown Plus, and he told me that all it did was bring together all the brawlers that get killed very easily into one match. It's filled up with Surge, Edgar, Leon, Shelly, Buzz, etc. These are all less teaming brawlers, but still are enough teaming to get everyone in the lobby to team. They should, on top of Showdown Plus system, add a graveyard shift thing where you lose health over time. No one dares to team when graveyard shift was just here. It's just getting health loss, and if you deal no damage and if you get no power cubes, then you will lose the game. Solo Showdown Plus made brawlers records way higher than they are right now. It made getting trophies way easier and didn't punish teamers enough to get killed or to team, which is something that should have been changed. I personally think that I do love Solo Showdown Plus. I love when players play more aggressive, and I do think that teaming is an option, but not the right option. It can be in certain situations, but I do not personally like it a lot. But Solo Showdown Plus should definitely get some changes so it becomes more balanced and gets the trophies fair and equally divided by everyone who plays it fair instead of just teaming up and getting lucky not to die at the end. I asked Superlab what the best counters are to STU, and he told me that Mortis, another STU of course, Leon with Invisiheal, and more than 3 primos grouped up together, Buzz, Spike, Nanny, Shelly, and Tara for 3v3 games. Especially when you play a duo showdown, it is very important with Buzz to really stick together and play it together, because you can really give your teammate that advantage of getting that speed boost if you happen to use that gadget. It's also important that you do not try to target at the start the center of the map, because that will just make you getting target. It's important that you slowly push up and get kills, but mainly get power cubes. Getting power cubes will be a huge advantage. Having just a little bit more health, just a little bit more damage is what makes the difference in Showdown. Why do Superlab team in Solo Showdown? Well, because you only get trophies for the first and second place. The first place gives you 5 trophies, and the second place gives you 2 trophies. The third place gives you 0 trophies, which is worthless. The matchmaking is an average of 18 minutes during the day and 23 minutes during the night. He usually plays the entire day, which is about 8 hours. To put in perspective, he plays about 3 games per hour, and each game is around 2 to 3 minutes long. At the end of the day, he only got 75 minutes of actually play time. He plays 8 hours a day, but only 75 minutes he's actually playing Solo Showdown in the lobby. That means that he has to be in 6 hours in just waiting to get through the game. That's actually crazy. 6 hours a day in matchmaking. You have to be mentally ready for that. It's not easy. Many people have tried to get these high records, but are not ready to wait this long to be able to learn from mistakes. Because let's say you make a mistake, you make a wrong play, you do something that you shouldn't have done, then you get so many trophies that you lose that you can be actually behind of an hour, and other people will rage, will get angry, and will tilt and tilt and tilt. It's important to know when to take a pause and to know that you have played for a very long time that day, that making a mistake is human. Everyone makes mistakes. No one can play duo showdown or solo showdown perfectly. It's just not possible, and you should never expect someone to play perfectly. You should expect someone to play with calculations, to make the right choices, to play it strategic instead of dumb and doing everything you think that is possible and having too much confidence in yourself, because being too confident will lead into losing trophies, especially at high end gameplay like this, where teaming is just something that happens even in Duo Showdown. Teaming has been a thing that's happening in Duo Showdown. That's why Brawl Stars has been trying to solve this with Solo Showdown Plus and trying to see how these things go. Hopefully this thing will get solved and something will get done eventually. Things are now just in an early stage and they are testing things out, but I'm very happy that they are testing out to get this game mode more balanced. I also do think that modifiers are a way to solve teaming, especially at high trophy gameplay. You should have more difficult modifier, because only the high end trophy showdown players will be able to understand these difficult modifiers, because they are these high-end trophies. So new players will not have to fear to start in a very difficult game and have Showdown be a game mode that they don't understand, because there are so many different rules. That's very important. The start of a solo showdown game for new players and the showdown game for high-end trophy showdown players should be something completely different at level wise, and especially at the rules. There should be different rules at different trophy marks. Make sure to subscribe to Superlab. His YouTube link is in the description. And also thank you all so much for the support. It's absolutely amazing to see so many nice comments that you do like these voice videos. I'm really trying to best to improve my English. Even if people don't like it, I keep going because of you guys, because you give me so much motivation, and it's feel good when people are saying that I'm doing good. It's just everyone needs that kind of motivation when people say, hey man, you're doing a good job. And that's something that helps me a lot. So thank you so much for that. Feel free to comment, like and subscribe if you like this video and if you would like to see more videos like these. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.